Chelsea back. Bastards, get out of our club. Get out of our club. You greedy bastards, get out of our club. Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich. I'm the same. You've got the numbers, you've got the fights. It's all
So we're right, up the Chelsea, up the Minerals FC. Big up to every single one of you live and locked in. Hope everyone is doing well in life. First and foremost, I want you all to smash the piece that like button. If you haven't smashed it, smash it right now. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure you do so. We got the Minerals FC Ultras membership down below in the description and a notification bell ding dong. Let's have it right so you know when we go live. Salute to all the Minerals FC Ultras. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things they'll never see. And salute to the no surrender mentality. So we're going to go straight into it. Big up to everyone that have turned up to the protest, the BlueCo out protests, have it right. But we're gonna land it straight away. We're going into reacting to TalkSport and Simon Jordan. As we all know, it's gone viral. The protest, the banners, the message has gone literally globally, world renowned. Everyone's reported on it. Daily Mail, Times, TalkSport, Sky Sports, Haters TV. Everywhere, absolutely everywhere. It's in all the newspapers. So it's well documented and known. And unfortunately, there's nothing that the ownership can do about it. So now we're gonna listen to this one and we're gonna go straight in. Let's have it right.
What we did see were quite a reasonable, sizable number of Chelsea fans protesting last night before the game. We want
Clown
our
college.
Chelsea back.
Clown college.
Clown college, as Simon calls them. But
I think Simon Jordan's the biggest clown, bruv. Let's have it right. Joe 90. He's actually dressed like Joe 90 with the turtleneck. Thinks he's an accountant. What are we doing here, bruv? Yeah? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's been mocking Chelsea and Chelsea supporters for a long time, especially for us trying to stand up for what we believe and protest. But this geezer, you know, despite him being multi-millionaire, whatever he is, he's somehow managed to go into liquidation or bankrupt himself and Crystal Palace, run him into administration. So I can understand his envy and jealousy towards Roman Abramovich, hence his agenda in Roman being the most elite club owner that we've witnessed. And now he obviously had a lot of the brunt of it, where they used to take the piss out of him with his tanning. You know, it's you been tangoed and all that. Or he's a you been tangoed merchant. Well, the reality is, he used to come at all the journalists, and now look at him. He is a journalist. He is a pundit, and he's the one thing that he didn't want to. Well, he used to come at. I mean, that tells you everything you need to know. Biggest flip flopper in the game, and he's trying to talk to us about standards and what we should and shouldn't do as supporters. When ultimately we're going to explain why everything happens, why it's happened, and why the protests happen. But I don't know. Maybe he just wants us to accept failure. Maybe he wants us to accept that because everyone's got an agenda on Chelsea. But let's see what he's got to say and what they've got to say. There's a couple clips we're going to go through, and then I'm going to give you what I think. Let's have it right.
they were serious about it with images of Bowley, and they're not happy. But they won, and the fourth We'll get into that shortly. Simon, you and I had some Chelsea fans on who told us in recent days why they were going to join a protest before the game against Southampton last night, a game that Chelsea won by 4-0. And in the Times this morning, page 62, Chelsea's support cast step up to take the load off Palmer. That's on the playing side of it, but there's a picture of it. The protest group, "You're destroying our club." And this was a message to Boli and Igbali, the owners at the top of Chelsea. "You're destroying our club. You're destroying our club," they're telling the American owners.
Interestingly, he says the American owners. So this narrative of Chelsea supporters coming at the ownership because they're American. Well, you've heard Jim White just say it for what it is. They are American owners of Chelsea Football Club. The consultant, not all of them, the consultant. We've got the Swiss merchant as well. Let's have it right. He's got an agenda on Roman. But yeah, they are destroying our club. Or actually, they've destroyed it. For me, they've destroyed it. And the going narrative, as I told you all last night on the stream, is we're fourth. So yeah, we're flying, aren't we?
But having said all that, Chelsea are fourth this morning, going pretty much fine. Things seem to be going along on the field of play.
How are they, like, respectfully, Jim, yeah? How are they going all right? How's it going all right? And how are we flying? We've won 3 out of 11 games. We have gone from second place to 7th to now go up to 4th, where we've got 2 teams playing tonight who have got a game in hand now to play. And if they win, they go back above us. So this narrative of we're 4th, like top 4 is a standard at Chelsea after 3 years in this ownership, spending 1.5 billion, is a disgrace. So they can. This is all they can stand on. This is the only narrative. Is right now in this moment we're sitting 4th in the table by a point, 1 hour on a nutsack, and that's what I told everyone. This is what they're going to come out with, and they've just done that. Typically, of course.
And yet this protest was reasonable in size.
I think it was decent. When we looked at it, it actually could have been plus 300 that turned up, with a huge divide. There's a huge divide in the fan base, which has been built by design by this ownership, as we all know. So now, obviously, Jordan's added his little 10 pence there. So we're going to add on and actually go through when they really talk about it. So let's go to here, Bosch, and let's play it.
Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich.
Okay, we get it. So Simon, is this
Interestingly, the one clip of the protest that TalkSport want to introduce to this part of the show is us chanting Roman Abramovich. They didn't pick out any other chants about aim towards BlueCo and BlueCo out. Any other chants about they're destroying our club, we want our Chelsea back. They chose the Roman Abramovich chant for a reason, because they have got an agenda on Roman, just like our ownership have got an agenda on Roman.
something a bit sad about grown men chanting in the streets for a Russian oligarch saying,
Well, grown men chanting for a Russian oligarch. Yeah, do you know what's funny, right? Jim White is a serious agenda merchant, mate. Yeah, proper throws daggers, bruv. Yeah, let's have it right. We're chanting for our owner because of what it symbolises. We didn't care about where the money come from with Roman. We didn't care about what he done to get his money. What we cared about is how we run our football club. And Roman Abramovich's chant symbolises that A, we want our owner, our previous owner back, who got robbed by the UK government. B, he symbolises standards, the elite standards that the elite clubs all have in common, and that is to win trophies and to dominate and go with intent. That's why we chant Roman Abramovich, and we love him, and he loves us. So have it right. So let's just learn them minerals first and foremost.
by the UK government. In the very week, incidentally, that marks 3 years on from the start of Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Yeah, which Trump's going to end, by the way. And Trump just come out publicly saying that he likes the Russian oligarchs and they're very nice people. Let's have it right. So maybe Donald Trump. By the way, I have to show you this. Speaking on Donald Trump, yeah, you know how influential the Minerals FC is. Yeah, we know how influential we are. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you this. Let me show you this. Let me just take this off for 1 second. Trump gets the Minerals. Trump's got the Minerals. Yeah? Mail online. So have it right. You can see it there. Well, let's hope Trump's got the Minerals to bring back Don Roman and get these clowns out of our football club. So have it right.
Well, look, I mean, they have a lot of affection for him because he turned their rather pedestrian football club into something very meaningful.
Pedestrian football club. You see, straight away he goes, I like Chelsea Football Club and this and that, but he's calling us a pedestrian club when we were winning Cup Winners' Cups, we were winning FA Cups, League Cups, we were actually progressing. We revolutionised the game in terms of bringing like Vialli, Zolas, Desai's, all the international players of elite level, Ruud Gullit come, you know what I'm saying? We changed the game. We were building a brand under Matthew Harding and Ken Bates. We were not pedestrianised, bruv. Yeah. I mean, let's talk facts, and they are the facts. Chelsea was winning trophies before Roman took over our football club. Roman just elevated us to the elite level of domination.
Despite the fact that Chelsea's got a lot of lustre, I like Chelsea as a football club. I signed school performance with them as a kid at 15 years of age, so I know what Chelsea is, and I like them as a club. I like Ken Bates at times.
Should we believe that?
It was true. They weren't.
So what do you like, Simon? Do you like Chelsea Football Club or do you like BlueCo? Because it sounds like you like BlueCo more than you like Chelsea Football Club, and you definitely don't like Roman Abramovich.
A big club in any significance until Abramovich's money turned them into something very meaningful.
Yeah.
And so they're going to hold on to the fact that Roman Abramovich was a martyr that gave them so much money and didn't ask for anything in return. And now you've got a different ownership that took you away from an existential threat. And because it...
Existential threat? Threat of what? We were never going to be liquidated. Rain Group set this all up with the UK government to put these clowns in power at Chelsea because the UK government want the real estate at Chelsea, which is why they tried to get Roman Abramovich out of Chelsea, and they couldn't do it because Roman, the don that he is, had all the real estate in his pocket. He had MI5 in his pocket. He had MPs in his pocket, and he was untouchable, and he did not mess or intervene or get involved or into bed with anyone in the Premier League and in the government because he ran the show. And when he bought our club, he said, I'm not here to make money. It's too risky to make money. I'm here to have fun and to be successful. These owners have come in, complete opposite, all about business, saying it's more important to build business value than win or lose on the field, build a multi-club project, a profitable model. Say Brighton are the best run team in the Premier League, and obviously for profit reasons because they don't win nothing. And then you got Bowley coming out saying he wants to change the pyramid and the fabric of Premier League football and the English game. And he's on Vivid Seat. I mean, it's just a joke, bruv. Like, what are we defending here? It's what I'm saying. Everyone wants to mock Chelsea supporters protesting, but what are we mocking here?
It's not manifesting itself the way you're entitled to. You're going to protest against the owners. I agree with the principle of fans having the right to air their views and having the right to complain about things. But when you start to elevate that to organise protests...
Well, how else are we supposed to get our voice out? This ownership don't even converse with us. They're talking to Chelsea Sports Trust and there's nothing happening with that. It's all about building relationships that these owners don't even care about. They're just using them like pawns, yeah? Everyone's a yes man. Everyone keep at bay and we'll use the PR to mask it all. But how do you expect supporters to actually get their voice heard? The only way is a protest, which is why Chelsea supporters arranged that protest. End of story. And if you agree with supporters being able to have a voice, then what is the best voice? Because let's have it right. Everyone that has got a voice on YouTube or on Twitter or on Instagram or any kind of ex-professional, bar a very few majority like Mikel and Frank Leboeuf, then there's no one else speaking it. They've all been tapped up. Everyone's been bought by this ownership to keep them under the wraps, to push their club narrative in everything that they want to do with their agenda against Chelsea Football Club. And that's the only way I see it.
Against an ownership model of a football club that's been there for 2 years,
It's actually come up to 3 years.
undoubtedly made lots of mistakes. People
Right.
that run businesses that go into football make mistakes. They always do, because you've got to learn the language of the industry. And
all right. So this is where I'm going to mud Simon Jordan. Is he's pushing the narrative out that they're making mistakes so we can bail them out and give them more time. Let me educate Simon Jordan. None of what they are doing is a mistake. And that is the point why everyone that is on the ball is protesting against the ownership. Everything that they have done to this football club ever since they walked through the door has been built by design, premeditated. Everything. This is why the narrative gets misconstrued by these large platforms of they're making mistakes. Are they learning from these mistakes? Let's see what Jordan's got to say.
there was a thread sent to me by a Chelsea fan that was correcting the Chelsea fan that came on here that was babbling about them being in £140 million of debt.
Last week.
Babbling about them being £140 million in debt.
Is that false?
Kind of got sliced. Well, they are. There's a £140 million liability to the ownership model who don't charge any interest on it and are not calling it in.
Yeah.
And so we sliced and diced him. Because
you sliced and diced him, facts. He didn't give you the actual correct information, and you also sliced and diced the time and mumbled over him and fed an agenda on Roman and calling Chelsea supporters plastic. But apparently you like Chelsea. The reality of the situation is, let me correct you, Simon Jordan, when it comes to debt. Like I told Liam Towney from The Athletic yesterday, and let's see if he reports on it. Salute to Greg Cordell, who actually has got the facts in black and white printed there for everyone to see. If you like data, like these clowns like data, let me expose the data. The actual debt, 140 million, is nonsense, right? The debt is with Aries management of 500 million at an interest rate of 13% or just under 13%. They've also taken 702 million as syndicate bank loans from the Bank of America and JP Morgan. And that is at a much lower interest rate of, I think, just under 3%. That is 1.22 billion of debt. And that debt is what's financing what they have done ever since they walked through the door. That is why the model that they've implemented is the Brighton model, because they need to give the return to all those that invest in. And Aries management has to be paid first. The banks have to be paid first back with their return, with their interest of 3 times what they put in. The Brighton model is the only model that will allow them to do that in a 10-year period. So if that is the model, it's not by mistake. Everything they've done is not by mistake. The Glazer clause they had, Bowley came in as a sporting director. Why? Roman Abramovich bought Peter Kenyon. Peter Kenyon, elite, professional, knows how to build a club, was at Manchester United. They were the standards. That's the model they were copying. Roman wanted to copy. And look at Real Madrid. And the rest is history, where we dominated and the signings we made. And one of them was Iron Robben. So that's Man United. We're looking at Iron Robben. When we took Iron Robben, and let's have it right, the rest of it, we know how that panned out. Baller, yeah? Back-to-back titles. They go and get Jose Mourinho. They go in the right direction with the intent to win. The direction this ownership have got is to make money. It's business first, not the football team building a team to compete at the highest level. And the model they've gone with is the low wage structure, is unproven talent, young players, and to build their value and build their assets up and sell them and loan them and generate as much money as possible, while dismantling everything at the football club, brick by brick, of each asset that Chelsea Football Club has as a whole into 18 separate companies. This is not a mistake, Simon Jordan. This was all planned. And that's why they're not going to rectify and learn from their mistakes, because in their eyes, it's not a mistake, which is why I represent myself, all right? And I represent the supporters that support my channel. I don't speak for everyone, but I'll tell you, when I speak for myself, I have not changed, not one bit, for over 2.5 years. I've been onto this ownership. And I know this ownership's agenda. I know what they're doing, which is why Barley's blocked me on Twitter. Let's have it right. It tells you everything you know. All the journalists blocked me. Everyone's come at me and fed me agenda. Because why? I've been speaking the truth, and I don't fear nothing. I'm not here to make a pound note. I'm here to support my football club and stand up for what's right. And what this clan ownership are doing to our football club is wrong. It's ethically wrong. It's immoral. It's disingenuous. It's an agenda to only make a pound note out of our football club and to change the blueprint of football as a whole, which is another whole discussion and agenda. Yeah. But I have been like that. I have not been the support going, we got our Chelsea back this season. I've not been praising them spending £1 billion or 1.5 billion quid. Yeah. I'm happy for our owners to spend money, but it's how you spend the money. And they don't spend it in the right way with the right intent for us Chelsea supporters. We have got no issue with them making money on Chelsea Football Club and with Chelsea Football Club if they are delivering the sole purpose of why you buy Chelsea Football Club, for football, for the beautiful game, for the supporters, for the culture, for the heritage, for the life and soul of the club, the supporters. No, they call us customers. They're milking us with Vivid Seats and Bowley's Vivid Seats, stopping and blocking members from actually, they pay for their membership but can't get tickets. Like, what are we doing here? There's multiple reasons why there's a protest, and there's every good reason to protest and to continue protesting. Let's have it right.
Because he made a fool of himself. The fact is, they say their argument isn't that, it's a litany of things, and they've got lots of resonance in it. You know, they have come in there, they have made decisions that aren't great, they have put sporting directors in that haven't done a particularly good job.
Those sporting directors are told what to do. They're yes men. They have been brought in there. Why do we need 2 sporting directors? Did Roman have 2 sporting directors? No, you just have one. Most clubs just have one, and then you have some underneath that deal with other aspects in the business or the day and the runnings of Chelsea of any football club. We've got 2 sporting directors that are scouts that also run in Strasbourg, that are being a yes man dictatorship at Strasbourg. They're trying to praise these. They're backing these directors like they've done nothing wrong. They're bulletproof. When they are they're built by design, because they are there to continue this blueprint, this model of generating the most profit out of our football team and football players and the football club, because there's no intent to win. Who spends 1.5 billion and doesn't have anyone over the age of 25 years old with elite winning experience, a born winner, a general, anyone that does? Why have you sold players that know the club since the age of 6 years old, 7 years old, that understand and know the standards at Chelsea Football Club? They've gutted everything out from top to bottom and brought their own model, a model that's unproven, never been proven in the history of football. And yet they're going, oh, we're making mistakes. How can you buy a football club not knowing what you're doing and blame it on mistakes, Simon? Who spends 2.5 billion quid buying a football club to then spend a further 1.5 billion, 7 billion, which most of it they've loaned and it's debt, to go, we're learning on the job? No, these guys are not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. And they're doing it and they're executing it. And they're using the PR on platforms like TalkSport, Sky Sports, Blue Ticks, YouTube channels, infiltrating the fan base, creating a divide to what? Protect their investment. And the protest exposes their agenda and basically embarrasses them and calls them out and muds their image, because the PR has now come in a negative light on terms of the ownership with the protest. You know what I'm saying? That's where we are, and that's where we're going to stand strong.
Have bought players over inflated values. They have bought a manager in from Chelsea that wasn't successful.
But are they forgivable mistakes?
Well, of course they bloody well are.
Right. So
no, this is not a mistake, and this is unforgivable. What they've done in 3 years is absolutely destroy the standards at this football club. I mean, we got two players scoring last night against Southampton who are bottom of the barrel, knee sliding, and doing, giving it all this gesture, keep your mouth shut, when we're on the worst run. We've had the worst run since December, and it's just embarrassing. The standards, the mentality of this football club. We've got an unproven manager. He's a yes man. It's all this. It's just absolutely embarrassing, and we're a laughing stock. You know, we're not Arsenal Football Club, so literally win or fuck off.
Do you think Bowling and Bally have done a good job?
No, I don't think they've done a brilliant job. I think a lot of the things they've done are lessons of people going into an industry that probably need to have 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth.
Bruv, they need more than that. But I'll tell you what they do have. They've got an octopus, which is the BlueCo headquarters, and all its tentacles on fucking everything around and on Chelsea Football Club. That's what they got. They don't need eyes and ears. They dictate to everyone below them in the layer cake. That's the point.
And we're all guilty of it, but of not having that, we've got too much to say for ourselves rather than actually learn the industry and learn the dynamics. But sometimes
they're not here to learn the industry. They're here to change the industry. That's the point. They're here to change the game. They are trying and erroring on our football club with the help of all the PR to bide them and give them as much time, which is why they hand out all the brown envelopes to buy time, to buy them time. The moment the supporters turn, they're in shit. And right now, this protest is serious. People ridicule it and mock it. Do it all you want. The bottom line is every journalist in the pocket of the owners has to write about it, has to be there. It's the top story. BlueCo out. Stop killing Chelsea. Get out of our club. So have it right. They're not fit to run our club. And they're here to destroy football. So all rival supporters and rival clubs that are trying to mock it and go, oh, they're spending money. Yeah, what are they spending it on? Look at the bigger picture, because every club in the Premier League and every other American owner, as Jim White calls it, in the Premier League, once it gets to 14 owners, American owners, well, let's have it right. We're dead and buried. And our English game is in serious danger. And we have to stop it. All rival clubs and their supporter groups, they're aware of what's going on. And they're all going to team up. So have it right. And it's necessary. It needs to happen.
As you walk into this industry and you see the way that it operates, and you know it's made up of nonsense at times. I'm choosing my words. And this idea, the fact that one hand you've got Bowley going, I want to be sporting director. I don't think he wanted to be sporting director. I think he wanted to be close enough to understanding the metrics of things.
No. Royale with cheese, yeah. Why'd they call it that? Because of the metric system? No, it's the metric system that's fucked Chelsea royally, yeah? Let's have it right. He wanted to play sporting director. He wanted hands-on. Did you know that Thomas Tuchel was put in a group chat with the ownership, sending messages and getting called how many times? Asked about Ronaldo 10 times, and Tuchel said no. They weren't interested in listening to Tuchel. They were interested in buying Ronaldo for the brand, the shirt sales. That's it. Not intent. Tuchel knew what was running this football club, and he wanted out and laughed at them. They weren't interested in backing Tuchel. They're not backing Potter. Didn't back Potter. They didn't back Pochettino. And Pochettino said to him, I need experience. I want to keep Thiago Silva, Gallagher, and all these players. He got the chop. Yeah. Didn't get top 4. He got the chop. Maresca, he ain't been backed. So what are we backing here? They're backing the model. The model built by design. The model's not a mistake. These signings are not a mistake. It's a lottery ticket, 64 players. Let's see if we can flog them off on long contracts, get them on long contracts, low wages. And as Egbali and Clear Lake have come out and said, it's easier if players don't shine to get them off the books if they're on low wages. No, it's easier to make more profit. So have it right.
People have people like Thomas Tuchel working for them that conduct themselves with absolutely no respect to the people that they work for. I would defy those people if they're in a position of power and influence.
Thomas Tuchel didn't want that power. He wanted a true sporting director, and Petr Cech was the link. Petr Cech decided to leave because he knew that this project wasn't for football. Facts. So Tuchel's not going to play sporting director for Bowley, is he? And why is Bowley and BlueCo and Egbali bought Chelsea Football Club and not have in line a sporting director? Come on, what are we doing here?
Influence to tolerate people like Tuchel. So every decision has a reason behind it, but the consequence of it is that they've made some bad decisions. Does that mean
every decision's been a bad decision? Every decision. Sacking Tuchel, getting rid of Neil Barr from the academy, selling all of Roman Abramovich's elite winning players, of recently winning Champions League, Super Cup, Club World Cup, going through 3 different managers, changing their project how many times with the PR, vivid seats. I mean, the list goes on. Roman Abramovich's agenda, players that they've bought are mid, overhyped by the PR of all these journalists, Fabrizio Romano and Ben Jacobs, Nizar Sellers, The Athletic, overhyping mediocrity, saturating the game. And by the way, Barley went on his jet to sign all these players. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what's the intent? They use AI scouting to buy players. That's embarrassing in a nutshell. When you've got Neil Bath and our academy scouting like Elise Musiala. Elise at our football club didn't even want to come back. Was open to coming back, met the owners and said, yeah, no, I'm good. And went aside for Bayern Munich instead. Let's have it right. Many mistakes. But to me, they're not mistakes. They're calculative decisions, all based on financial approach. That's it. It's the finances. We're a hedge fund. Stock market. That's what we are now. And supporters are waking up.
Bad decisions with good intention.
what for themselves as well? They're not martyrs. They
I
want
meant
to make
more
money
with the
out of this.
recruitment.
Yeah,
But
you mentioned Tuchel. The fans remember Thomas Tuchel in his first attempt winning the Champions League with Chelsea.
Fantastic. And so he did. And I was a massive Thomas Tuchel fan.
Was. All right, why not? Look, the bottom line is, yeah, Thomas Tuchel come to Chelsea, in 4 months won the Champions League, inherited a team mid-season of a group of players from 5 previous seasons and different managers, then went on, got 1 or 2 signings that he didn't really want. He didn't want Lukaku, but Roman did what Roman did. That's how it was. It was an elite yes man model. These lot are a budget Roman model, yes man mentality for financial purpose. But he come in and then he won the Super Cup, Club World Cup. We got into 3 domestic finals and we were always in the top 4. At one point before the injuries, we could have maybe gone on won a title. That's elite mentality. That's an elite manager. What we got now is the complete opposite.
In terms of the manner in which he grabbed hold of Chelsea, turned them into a formidable side, and I like him. But there's lots about Thomas Tuchel, which we're going to get to hear about. The moment England start not doing things on the field, you wait till the British media have a field day with Thomas Tuchel.
Well, I bet you're all queuing up, licking your lips, because that's what it's all about. The media digging their fangs into anything they can to make themselves believe that they're so powerful, when in reality, well, I'm mud for brown envelopes 24/7. They're not as powerful as they think they are, but in numbers, they're stronger. And they're all sellouts, and they'll do anything for a pound note. They'll sell out their own family for a pound note, like a lot of these YouTube channels. How many YouTube channels turned up yesterday in support to be a Chelsea supporter, or were they too busy streaming? This is what I'm saying. People are flip-flops, and everything's getting dilute in football, and the media are taking advantage of that, and it's built by design.
And the bottom line is that when you understand, because I've had managers that you walk in the door and they don't want to help you, they want to be divisive, they want to be disrespectful, they want to be completely and utterly working against you, working for you. It's a very difficult thing to contend with, but you have to contend with it because he's Thomas Tuchel, and the Chelsea fans are going to weaponize.
What's he going to be like? It's called leader. Be a leader. Be a general. Yeah? No nonsense mentality. You either die with me or fuck off. That's it. But what? He doesn't want to work with the media? Maybe they get all upset and salty about it? Let's have it right.
Weaponize it, so they're going to weaponize Tuchel against the ownership, and they're going to weaponize Abramovich against
Chelsea fans getting in touch this morning already. We haven't even asked for calls, but that's good. I'll get to that in a second. Do you honestly think fans are bothered, Simon, about how Tuchel conducted himself away from the field of play.
No, they're not.
Or in any shape or form.
No.
Conduct himself how? They keep bringing this up. It's the biggest false narrative, right? However, Tuchel, we don't care. You see, us supporters, we don't care about what money's spent. We don't care about how much you pay their wages. We never cared with Roman. What we care about is being competitive, relevant, and winning trophies because we love our football club. We love our football players and team. We're not getting any of that. They're spending all this money on profit-making agenda, not for football. It's just waffle. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to try and build a stadium. They're trying to do this. Do what? Everything's for money. Everything's for a pound note. They don't love the Chelsea supporters. They don't love the club. They don't even talk to them. They call us customers. So the reality is we will fucking stand up and we will fight. We will fight. We will continue to fight. This protest is the start. This is the start of what's to come. We need to cut the cancer out of Chelsea Football Club and out of football because these lot are here to monopolise the game. To have it right. So I wanted to just react on that because I think it's necessary to understand that we as supporters need to be unified. And right now, it's not unified enough. And these owners will play on it. A lot of them, I want to read this out, actually. I want to read this out because this is a rattle job. Yeah, it's actually disgraceful. And this geezer seems to get all the information somehow. But let me read you out what they said. Yeah. Where is it? Here it is. Chelsea believe today's win against the Saints will bring back winning ways. Protest news have been noted. They point out that all of this is reactionary for a bad run until Chelsea start winning again. So they're going with a narrative of all the journalists and all the media platforms. Oh, because we started losing, we want to protest. No, it's win, lose or draw, BlueCo out. I've been onto this for too long for me to be, it's just about results. I've wanted the protest since Jellyfish Potter season, all right? So I can stand alone on that with the Minerals FC. Everyone else, you can flip-flop all you want. I don't give a shit. But me, no one's calling that narrative on me. That's the first thing. The second thing is says some inside the club are happy that protest didn't go the other way. It's calm. It's all calm and happy now with the fans. They also believe it's one-time reactionary thing. So they're trying to ridicule the protest and downplay it when, in fact, they have been outright mugged off, embarrassed, and shown up worldwide on every media platform that they've got in their pocket. Bosh, let's have it right. They are fucking rattled. And then Barley blocking me tells you he's rattled. They're all scared. It's not a good look when all you are is PR-driven to have banners outside the ground and 300-400 people out there chanting BlueCo out. Get out of our club, you greedy bastards. Yeah? You can dress it down all you want. But this is the start. So be prepared. And let's have it right. We'll continue to muddle the PR that comes our way. Respect to everyone. Smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Put all your comments down below. We'll leave you with our general and our goat Don Roman. And as always, no surrender mentality. Salute to our Chelsea old boys. We see things I'll never see. Up to Chelsea, up to Mills FC. Let's have it right. Let's go.
Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman Abramovich, Roman